Hello everyone, today we're going to be researching the stock of Robinhood. In today's episode of Researching Stocks, I'm going to go in depth into the Q2 2021 earnings of Robinhood, the famous trading app. Are you ready? Let's begin. Hi everyone, my name is Avishai and I talk about the stock market, investing, angel investing, alternative investing, and sometimes crypto. And today I'm going to be looking at Robinhood and their Q2 2021 results. So right off the bat, we're going to talk about their revenue growth. So the company really increased the amount of revenue they had over the quarters. And we can see that the total net revenues right away, you can see it's 565 million, just a tad more than what they had in Q1, and really impressive numbers from the company. And still, this disappointed investors. And the reason this disappointed investors is because the jump from Q4 2020 to Q1 2021 looks like a jump that cannot be sustained quarter after quarter. And that jump was mostly because of a lot of revenue that was generated from crypto trading. And when I'm talking about crypto trading, there was a lot of Dogecoin trading in that crypto trading. And they made a lot of money on small margins in between the trades. Now I'm going to jump back up and let's go over how much funded accounts does the company have. They have 22.5 million funded accounts at the end of the second quarter. And remember, Robinhood is only working in the United States. So you have at least another 40-50 million people that they have as a total addressable market to reach. So the company still has a lot of opportunity of growth. And you have to take into account that they've never left kind of the US area. So that's something to take in consideration. And monthly active users in Q2 2021, they had 21.3 million monthly active users. That means that people that monthly are active on the app. And this is no small achievement because there are a lot of people who check their portfolio once in a blue moon on different apps and platforms. In terms of the assets under custody, you have here $102 billion of assets under custody. So another interesting thing to note is that from that, you have a very small amount that is net cash held by users. A lot of cryptocurrency in terms of the percentages as well. So Robinhood is really used for a lot of cryptocurrency trades, some options and equities. Let's look at their Rpoo metrics. In terms of average revenue per user, Robinhood is generating less than what they generated in Q1, and that is probably due to the lack of activity around cryptocurrency as much as there was in the Q1 2021, and the revenue is $112 average revenue per user. Now also you have to take into account when the amount of users rises, this metric might change just because a high amount of users and even with revenue growth can cause the average revenue per user to decrease because they just take the amount of revenue and divide it by the amount of users, and then you get that metric. Moving on to those transaction-based revenues, you can see that they had $451 million, and from that, a lot of that was from crypto, a bit of that was from options, and a just small amount was from equity. So from those transaction-based revenues, crypto is really pushing Robinhood, and I really feel that Robinhood should put more cryptocurrencies on the platform. That will probably help the company grow faster in terms of revenues. They have a really stiff competition from Coinbase, and I really think that BlockFi is going to be storming out of the gates with their own IPO very soon. Looking at total net revenues, net interest revenues, you can see that there's the securities lending, margin interest, which are a huge chunk of money. And then you have interest expenses related to credit facilities, which are probably causing an expense to the company. Operating expenses, you can see a lot has going into general and administrative, some of it into marketing and operations, and just a lot into technology and development. So company is investing in their R&D. Looking at the net income loss, you can see that Q1 and Q2 were quarters with a loss, and the company has lost money. And in terms of the guidance, it does not look so good. And that's why the stock sold off after earnings. And even though I am long the stock, this is one of the stocks that I'm less confident about them in the short term. I think that long term, they're going to solve things and they're going to generate profits and they're going to really have that sticky user base generate for them more opportunities. But I'm really looking at the short term right now. And in the short term, I don't think the company is going to do so well, just because I feel that they have a lot of things that are not solved. There's a lot of kind of magnifying glass just right at them and the government, and just like a lot of bad PR there was from the whole kind of meme stock scandals in the beginning of the year. So I think that long term, they're going to be okay. Short term, there's going to be a lot of choppiness around the stock. And even though I'm long the stock, this is not any kind of financial recommendation, or neither this is any kind of investment advice. You should do your own homework on Robinhood if you want to open a long position on the company. So looking at their adjusted EBITDA, you can see that Q2 2021 has ended with 90 million, less than Q1. Looking at the appendix, you can see their beginning balance and new funded accounts. And you can see assets under custody, just basically kind of everything we went through. Total net revenues, just to kind of recap all the numbers that we went through here, nothing out of the ordinary. So what do I have to say to you guys after going over these numbers and going over the presentation? I think the number one thing that is worth mentioning is that the current money the company is making from cryptocurrency is not sustainable if they are going to just keep making money off Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Litecoin. That's what they have on the app right now. And if they don't bring more cryptocurrencies to the platform, I think that a lot of customers are going to find themselves using other apps to do their crypto activities. The second thing that's worth mentioning is that the stock has a bit of a repressed stock price because of a looming fear that Robinhood's business model might be at risk by the government. So that's another thing you have to take into account. What of people that are going to still be outraged by the business model where Robinhood keeps selling basically flows of information to big hedge funds, so they can basically get a sneak peek of where the trades are going before the rest of the market. So it's a legal business practice. It's not anything illegal, but it's getting a lot of scrutiny and it's being discussed on Capitol Hill. So that's something you have to take into account when you are thinking about buying the stock. The third thing you have to take into account that there are a lot of other apps competing with them and they have great user interfaces. You have Square's Cash App and you have Public, and there are other companies that are currently working on improving that user interface, that user experience, in order to give Robinhood and their great user design a fight in that realm of millennial investors and Gen Z investors. So you have to take into account that there is going to be competition coming, and it's going to be a very interesting competition between companies that have all kinds of other features that Robinhood doesn't have right now, and they have less of historical PR issues, and they have also some social aspects to that, something that I think that Robinhood is missing a bit. So if you found this video useful and you want to see more videos like this, hit that like button. It really helps out the channel. And if you have never been here before and you've never seen any of my videos and this is your first video, this is the time to subscribe to the channel. Hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications so we can meet again and you can get notified each time a video comes out. Thanks for watching. See you next time.